All right, now when you're looking at your foreign exchange market, the thing that you need to remember above all else is that you are dealing with the supply and demand curve, not for rands. It is always the supply and demand curve for the foreign currency. Rand is not in this supply and demand curve. Okay, so this is the price level of the foreign currency. This is the quantity that is traded on a daily basis, the quantity of the foreign currency. Okay. Very popular question in your exam. Draw the foreign exchange market and show the effect of something on the exchange rate. The only real thing that we want to see when we draw our foreign exchange market is the effect on the price of the foreign currency. Now remember, price of the foreign currency, think about your rand-dollar exchange rate. When you hear it on the news, 10 rand to the dollar, 12 rand to the dollar. You're spending 12 rand to buy $1. So the price of the dollar is the exchange rate. Okay. You've got your rand-dollar exchange rate on your y-axis. Okay. But what you need to remember is that it is the price. It's the price of dollars. Okay. Now, when you move, remember your point of origin is where your two axes meet. When you move away from the point of origin, the variable is increasing. Okay, now you need to remember this. When you move away from zero, the price is increasing. The price of dollars is increasing. You're getting further away from the point of zero, okay, from the point of origin. Now, when the rand loses value against the dollar, when it becomes more expensive to purchase $1, when it changes from 10 rand to the dollar to 12 rand to the dollar, it means now you have to swap 12 rand instead of 10 rand to buy $1. The rand has depreciated. Okay, so depreciated, rand has decreased in value. Okay, think when there is a depreciation, you are depressed. Okay, appreciation is when the rand value increases in terms of dollars. So that is when it goes from 10 rand to the dollar to 8 rand to the dollar. Okay, now this is the part that confuses students. A depreciation is a movement up the graph. Okay, so even though it's a depreciation, it's a movement up the graph because we were moving from whatever, 10 rand to the dollar up the graph to 12 rand to the dollar. It's more expensive. Okay, and appreciation is when you move closer to zero because the rand price is approaching zero to the dollar when the rand appreciates. And when one currency depreciates against another, it means that that currency has appreciated against this currency. Okay, so they move in the opposite direction. Then they're going to give you an effect. So they're going to say something like in the exam that we did, more foreign tourists enter South Africa. Okay, it means that all the Americans fly into South Africa and they are spending money. Okay, but although we would like to receive dollars, we cannot receive dollars. We've got to receive rands. So what they had to do between South Africa and the US was they had to sell some of their dollars and they had to buy rands so that they could spend them in South Africa. All right? Now think of the international exchange as one market. Okay? It's actually headquartered in London. What they had to do was they had to sell their dollars and buy rands. What's that going to do to the supply and demand? Remember, this is the supply and demand for dollars. We do not care what happens to the rand. We are only interested in the dollars. When they sell their dollars on the international exchange to buy rands to come to South Africa and spend money, they are driving up the supply of dollars. Okay? And as the supply of dollars increases, it is like any other commodity. When the price, or rather when the quantity of any other commodity increases, the price decreases. In this case, the supply of dollars has increased. You can see that the quantity traded has increased. And the price of dollars, the rand-dollar exchange rate, has decreased, which means it means that the rand has appreciated. Okay, because we move down the curve. Don't think increase or decrease, think appreciate or depreciate. Okay. What else?